Well, hello. 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 Why is my model not being picked up? That's weird. Camera, why are you not working? Camera. Hello. Camera. Why are you not working, camera? Well, I mean, there is a tinfoil hat version, and then there's the true version. We'll go over both. Is my thing on? I mean, it's attached to my waist. No, my model is not picking up my camera for some reason. Iran's getting bombed hard? Oh, that's good to know. It's actually legitimately good to know. Camera off and on? Why are you not detecting the camera? That's another good question. Hello, McFly? Yeah, I'm plugging it in and back out again. I mean, the camera's working. It sees me. Unfortunately. Oh, God, that's a terrible angle. Ugh. Camera's looking up my nose. Ugh. All right, well, so we know that's working. But why are you not... Why are you not going to the proper thing that I want you to? Why are you doing that? Camera off? Camera on? There we go. Oh, I got it. All right, there we go. Restart everything! Oh, I got it working. There was an update, is what happened, and the update made everything go confunky. All right, let's see. You think Tio's going to be around to actually get me feeds of Iran, or you think I'm going to have to do it? Iran being bombed. Hello, it is I. It is I. It is I, the guy with the stuff. And the things. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello. We're doing the thing every time you guys tell me, every time someone donates $10 or more, I put back on an article of clothing. Thought you'd all enjoy that. By the time we're done, I'll be in a burqa. Well, I was going to put a video on, and then I clicked on the wrong thing, and now we're having Inception of Inceptions. Is it good? And Inceptions. Not what I wanted to put on. I'm going to see how long this thing will go for. Of Inceptions. It's still going. It's still going. Oh, the chat finally popped up. Which one of me is the real me? What's the emoji? Well, it's not an emoji. It's a VTuber. But I started my stream as a VTuber originally. And with my medical problems, I'm just like, you know, this is easier on me. And I get to chill and just relax. and not have to worry about stuff. And I could show up here looking like I got ran over by a car and drugged down the street, and nobody's going to know the difference, you know? Because it's not about me, it's more about what's on screen. It is, it's just a wolf wormhole. That is right. Should we give it a few minutes for people to kind of trickle in? I believe we should give people a few minutes before we get into this. But that's all. I just wanted a more relaxed streaming environment for myself. And, you know, I just tell people I was beaten to death or ninjas cut my face off or whatever, and they believe it. But when I first started the show, it was just my voice, and then I did a VTuber. And then I should have stuck with the VTuber, because then the VTuber thing exploded, but people were trying to dox me and wanted to know what my face looked like, and I was stupid and fell for it in the shekels. And then I went back to this. So, anyways, that's the long and short of it. Probably more info than anybody needed, but there you go. We're just waiting for people to trickle in. We could talk about our feelings while we wait. Again, Iran is currently getting struck. Iran is currently getting hammered. See, what updates do we have for Iran while we're waiting? U.S. airstrikes against the Omadai airport. Oh, we're taking out airports. Oh, fantastic. Oh, boy. We're blowing up airports now. Well, that's going to upset some people. I guess we took out 2 bridges yesterday, too. Excellent. Now all we need to do is aim for the water processing and places that they poop. And, we'll be good. No more, well, actually, I guess that wouldn't work. Only 50% of the country has actual toilets. So I guess that wouldn't really work too well. But the water, they all have working water. So if you stop the water from flowing, I guess that would also be a good way of doing it. Good old Wall Street Journal saying U.S. and Iran trade rounds of attacks and fight over Strait of Hormuz. That's not a fight over Strait of Hormuz. That's a really bad article headline. What it should have been was Iran kills civilians. America's not standing for it. That would be the patriotic title, I would say. So he's using Air Force One, the original one, the new one that was coming over. Again, we'll get into all that in a second. I'm giving a few more minutes for people to hit the like and then trickle in. Because I've only been on for a second, and some people might think I'm doing my long intro and whatever else. I'm also gives me a second to go find some feeds for the stuff in Iran. So we'll get into all that in a moment. But I would say it's kind of nuts that all the stuff Iran is coming out and saying. So Iran is also trying to claim that they killed Lindsey Graham, by the way. They came out there and said, oh, well, he died because we killed him, which is absolute horseshit. But it's very interesting that they're trying to take credit for it. Again, I don't believe they killed Lindsey Graham. I believe Lindsey Graham died of an aneurysm of some sort. Let me double check what it was. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Lindsey Graham died of an aortic aneurysm that caused an aortic dissection. So that's what killed him. And I believe it's a dissection. So I think they no longer get blood, you bleed out and die. Yeah. Aortic aneurysm, yeah. So Lindsey Graham died of that. he was not killed by Iran. Iran is, though, trying to claim that they killed him for some reason. Mainly because I think maybe they want Daddy Trump to push it in harder. I don't know. I feel like that is beyond stupid to do. I don't think it's a good idea for a country you're currently at war with to be claiming that they're killing these people. Now, going down and then enough players home. Okay. Is this live? It's a live feed of what's going on? If it's live, I'll put it on. What are they doing? He's got a very nice lawn, whoever this guy is. I don't know who this guy is you're sending me, but he has a very nice manicured lawn. Kind of making me jealous. Like, what did this guy do? Why are we looking at his lawn? I mean, look at this thing. It's beautiful. Nice grass, freshly cut, good lines. He totally had someone come out and do it. Is that why we're looking at it? Are we jealous of his lawn? Beautiful. What is that? Bluegrass? Amazing. I probably want some audio on this. So what ended up coming out is, and this is going to upset some of you. Some of you are going to be very mad about this. I already hear it. Steve Martin was not in it. He was an actor. NFL player, people are in the house swatting. Police showed up to the Kansas City, I believe. Okay. So somebody was upset with this man and swatted him? What happened? He's got beautiful manicured lawn. Swat him. So the thing that came out today with this is that people are claiming it's the deep state. They're saying they tried to kill President Trump mid-flight on July 9, 2026. Trump departed Turkey aboard the brand new Qatar-donated Boeing 747-8, his future Air Force One. The deep state launched a cowardly cyber strike on Langley, Virginia. From Langley, Virginia. They targeted the plane's electronic controls and blatant assassination attempt. I don't believe the CIA tried to kill Trump, but that is what people are saying. You're going to have to put more sentence out there because I don't know what's going on with the football player. There's people living in his house that tried to swat him, like they're squatting in his house. Is that what I'm getting? You're going to have to be a lot more full sentences on that because I'm not following. So people are trying to claim, though, that Trump was almost killed by the CIA. If the CIA wanted to kill Trump, they could have found, I think, easier ways of doing it. They could have just walked in and shot him. Be done. But Trump always apparently 10 steps ahead, switched to the older Air Force One at the last second with the fake news called a routine scrutiny precaution, which was actually a brilliant trap. That was the beginning of the great purification, encrypted comms, blah, 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 blah. I don't think it was the CIA who tried to kill him. Who I do think tried to kill him, though, was probably Iran. And when this happened the other day on the 9th, I openly said, yeah, he's probably sending the plane over to the Air Force to have it gone through with a fine-tooth comb. If you don't believe me, go to the show. It's still up on the 9th. You probably have to go through hours of footage. But inside there, any aircraft. So for anyone that doesn't know how Air Force One is built or how it's laid out, it's like a giant apartment complex with like different rooms for places for people to sit, and he's got a bed and food. I mean, it's a big plane, and it's supposed to have stuff for like anti-air and chaff, and I think some radar jamming, all kinds of stuff like that. So there's a lot going on in that. Now, again, Turkey, I don't know what our relations with Turkey are or if they are very good. Right? But what I do know is that if there's other people around who are neighbors that could get and infiltrate and put something inside, That'd be really bad. So does it make sense that the president would take something that was given to him and have somebody go through it and figure out what's wrong? Yeah. He's not just going to be like, oh, wow, guys, thank you for the brand new plane. This is beautiful and amazing. Let me just stick my ass in here and just fly it. Oh, kaboomy. Oh, the controls went dead. The minute that happened, Iran would say, oh, look, we killed the president, right? That's what Iran would come out there and say. And then after Iran comes out there and say, what do you think would happen to Iran? Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure the Air Force went through that thing with a fine-tooth comb afterward. Yeah, I bet you they took everything off of it. I bet you there was flight decks filled with parts everywhere. And then those parts were scrutinized and went through, right? Like, there's no way in hell I believe, right? There's no way in hell I believe that he was going to hop on this plane and go across the sea and went home. So I'm going to say, for what I know and what I was discussing and thinking about, Alex, I just messaged you. Just shoot me the full story of it, and I'll go from that with the NFL thing. I think he knew. I think his people in intelligence were like, I wouldn't get on that goddamn airplane. And Trump probably was like, you know, there's a lot of people out there that have tried to kill me, and it's probably a good idea I don't get on that said airplane. So now let's go see what the actual story was. No missile defense. No active, I think, radar blocking. There's a few other things that were not on it either. Now, again, regift it to Hillary. Oh, that's actually a good idea. President Trump did not use the new Qatar Gift Air Force One when departed Turkey after the July 2026 summit in Ankara. He flew to Turkey on the Boeing 747B, a $400 million gift from Qatar that had been retrofitted for the president. Now, from what I understood, when they flew it, it wasn't a very far flight and they kept eyes on it, but left an older VC-250A, the classic baby blue Air Force One, for the first leg of the return trip. He later switched to the new jet in the UK and ARF mid-haul for the flight home to the US. Security concerns, multiple reports, NYC, ABC, PBS, whoever, indicated that security services urged and changed as a precaution in escalating U.S.-Iranian tensions, including resumed strikes and killing of Iran's supreme leader. The older plane was more established secure communications, military defense, and proven capabilities, and mid-air refueling. The new jet reportedly lacked full equivalent and protection at the time. Trump's policies and publicly framed as leading the troops toward the plane, flying the old one for old time's sake, while the denying specific threats windows were reportedly kept down on the older plane during the flight. This sparked questions about the pace and completeness of the new plane's retrofit. Critics had already raised issues on cost, security, and readiness. The White House maintained a new jet is secure. Mind you, every president got a new plane, right? That's kind of the thing. You get the plane, you get the Secret Service, you get to do whatever you want with the White House. It's a bunch of jackassy things you can do, but you get a new plane. That's one of them. So people were bitching and moaning that Trump would technically get two planes because the first one you usually get when you do your first two terms. But since he came back for a second term, he could technically get another plane. Free hot pockets and your very own Monica Lewinsky. So robot, blow up doll, real, who knows? But you get some kind of nice benefits, right? You are the president of the free nation. So people are already bitching and moaning about how much it was costing and what it had on it and what it didn't have on it. So give me 1 second. Here's your Pharaoh and Monica. Ugh. Includes extensive classified protection features designed to make it one of the most secure aircrafts in the world. These go far beyond standard commercial jets, enabling it to function as a mobile command center, even in extreme scenarios. So it probably has a shit ton of antennas poking out of it, too. Well, not poking out, probably running along the fuselage and wings, I'm guessing. Equipped with a missile defense system. This is, again, the old one. This is the VC-25A. Equipped with a system like the NANLQ-204 Mataber or similar DRCM, the Nemesis. This emits pulse infrared light to jam or confuse seeker missiles or heat-seeking missiles from air to ground or air to air. Multiple units are typically installed in new engines and the tail. Chaff and flare dispensers, electronic countermeasures, jamming radars, and electronic warfare systems disrupt enemy radar, making the aircraft harder to track on target. Missile warning system, EMP hardening, in-flight refueling, secure communications, and other survivable features. Reinforced structure, redundant systems, self-sealing fuel tanks, and some descriptions are also able to carry a Secret Service personnel with weapons, and many details remain classified. So, would it surprise you that if Air Force One went down, everyone else would be killed but the president? It wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me if they seal him in bubble wrap and he bounces along and he gets to live and everybody else is just massacred. Maybe a few Secret Service members to keep him safe. I mean, there's a lot of classified features on their stealth. Could be one of them. I have no idea. Pull the old okie dokie. So all these features are not on there, right? Now, Qatar probably gave him a decent plane, but from what people are saying and what I'm reading is that they found something on the plane that might have killed him. Right? And one of the things I think they found on there, which again, conspiracy theorists ran like a bat out of hell, was stuff there I think that would either disrupt the way the airplane worked, from what I was reading, or made it an easier target, or who knows. But do you know who told us what was on the plane and who actually made sure the president was safe? If it was me, I don't know. I think I'd use a military plane. Well, that's nice. You can go buy a plane. Planes are, not that it's a blue collar hobby, actually. Yeah, well, Trump was smart, but somebody else is there. Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess who told him? Gonna give you a second here. This is what's gonna upset some of you. Won't upset me, but I can't find my waiting room music. We'll use this though. Yeah, Israel. Israel's the one that found out. And Israel, due to their intelligence, said, hey, I wouldn't fly that goddamn plane. I would not get on that thing no matter what. And they told our Secret Service, and our Secret Service said, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Let's go drop it off at the Air Force and let them take this thing apart by the, down to the bolts. I swear to God, Michael McDonald. I swear, right last name, wrong person. I swear Mitch is in like a vegetated state. I saw a picture of that guy. I'm like, there is no one upstairs. The lights are on and there's nobody home. I feel like if I shine the light into his eyes, I'd just say a hamster wheel turned in and the hamster is dead. So beyond standard procedures. So, apparently there was communications from the scuttlebutt and stuff I'm reading. There was communications that were already happening that came out and said, hey, that plane is not safe. You need to take it down to the bolts, right? And Trump, I pretty sure was like, all right, because again, what has Trump got to lose? Well, his life, but I mean, by leaving the plane there. I still don't understand why this guy is now trespassing this guy's house. Hello? If you're some random dude showing up to my door and ringing my doorbell with your phone, that's a good way of getting shot. No, I'm talking about a story on the thing, babe. Yuffie's looking at me like, do I need to give you the shotgun? What's going on here? It's like one of those old photos where they should take the photo of someone sitting up after he already died. Like he's a corpse sitting up there, baby. We should trust Turkey more than Israel? Well, I don't know, because apparently after they said, hey, there might be a thing on there, they went through and the Americans said, oh my God, we found a thing on there. So all I'm saying is apparently there was a thing. There was absolutely a thing there that we found. So, and if you're in Turkey and you get some Iranian infiltrators in there that go inside, now I'm not saying that Turkey did it. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. I'm just saying that the plane was from Turkey, and it could well be possible that the Turkish government had no idea, right? They just hired, Abdul over there to go work on the damn thing. And Abdul was actually working for somebody else.
Danger yesterday. Unanswered questions lingering tonight around his sudden change of aircraft from the new Qatar-built Air Force One that he flew over onto NATO to the old Air Force One last night.
Do you know why they had us close our window blinds? That was well, yeah, because probably in a dangerous flight because of the sleazebags that we have to deal with. See?
He says it was so the troops could see the new one. Okay, but the Wall Street Journal is reporting tonight about a new Iranian plot to kill Donald Trump. And that tracks with what the New York Times said and why he switched planes. The Secret Service told Trump not to take the Qatari-gifted Air Force One home from Turkey.
This plane was rushed into circulation because
it wasn't about rush. No, it was about once he landed it, someone probably went on and did something.
President Trump wanted to fly on a new Air Force One.
His spokesperson issued a statement today saying that this plane, the new Air Force One, is...
If you could figure out how to kill somebody via the way he died, that's foul play, maybe. But from what I understand, he might have just been old and died. I think what it is it's a heart valve that comes undone and you just bleed out and die. So if you could find a way of killing somebody that results in that, I could fathom the idea, right? I could speculate the idea, but yeah, and if it's too bad for the aneurysm, though, you could bleed out and die from it. So yes, Galtenberg, put me in your will. I mean, what? But yeah, go get it fixed.
perfectly great and totally up to the standards, but it's not.
The big unknown here is whether or not this new Qatari gifted jet has the same level of electronic countermeasures that the old Air Force Ones had.
Well, who knows what the truth is, but the White House insists the new Air Force One does have top security features. But again, according to the Times, the older plane has been widely reported to be equipped with a system designed to blind an incoming anti-aircraft missile, along with chaff that could be deployed to mislead a missile.
and flares and jammers and multiple ways of communication. Like, again, the Air Force One is very, very high-end technology. You know, they're not in there with a Raspberry Pi and a couple antennas are sticking out the window. Like,
and then force it off its course. Well, my first reaction to this is it's not great that the Secret Service, it looks like, is leaking sensitive details to the press, maybe to curry favor, warning, I don't know what it is. But the president, he's well aware of the risks he faces.
well,
I'm number one on the kill list.
there you go. We already know you're number one on the kill list. So we already know that they want to kill him. Again, if Iran kills him, to them, they're going to think they got this victory. At the end of the day, Vance becomes in charge. Everybody in the world sees that Iran, who is going to be out there and be like, we did this, is going to see that. And immediately we would go into war because killing a sitting president by another country, I don't think is going to sit really well. Just saying. I feel like even Congress at that point would be like, all right, we got to go kill him. Right? It's a very Get Smart. Yeah, it does kind of remind me a little bit of Get Smart. Kind of like James Bond, but not as competent. But so he flew the plane over there. They figured out something was wrong. And it could be, again, anything. It could be it could have been a second transponder telling people where he was that bypassed the systems. It could have been an explosive device. It could have been Epstein's bones shoved in the wings. Could have been literally anything, right? But what we do know is that it was a danger to the President of the United States and that it landed. The Air Force went through it. They found whatever it was. They fixed it. Why the Air Force has it, the Air Force is also going to be installing all of those systems on it, right? And those systems for warfare countermeasures, electronic warfare countermeasures, different ways of communication, probably protocols that are kept secret, stuff like that, right? So there's a lot going on with it that needs to be fixed. So Israel came out and said, hey, I think someone messed with your plane. You might want to go look at that. The Secret Service said, all right, we're going to go take a look. They took a look. Oh my God, there's something wrong with the plane. They gave it to the Air Force. The Air Force looked at it. Now, mind you, if they're trying to make it, that's the other thing, right? Some Games of Thrones shit going on here. If Iran doesn't take responsibility for it, they're going to blame Qatar and be like, oh, Qatar killed the President of the United States, right? And now we have a whole new bag of bullshit. Abundance of caution is also great. Smoke signal generator, yes. But apparently the other thing is, with Lindsey Graham, apparently Lindsey Graham talked with President Donald Trump hours before he died. That same day is what people are saying. So we have that going on. Again, the minute he dies, Iran trying to claim they killed Lindsey Graham. I don't think they did. We have them threatening to kill the president. Luckily, they didn't. We have the weekend at McDonald's. I swear to God, that dude is dead. I don't know. Maybe not physically, but definitely mentally. He doesn't look all there. I'm just saying. He looks very empty inside. Like the soul has left. Died due to an Egyptian curse. Yeah, scarab beetle crawling him. I don't think they found any piece of the Ayatollah because they showed his bones and the bones look like beef bones. They didn't look like human bones. That's true, Lou. That is true. But with all the other evidence coming out, it was more than just that. It seemed like there was some shenanigans going on. That's the current talk of it. I don't think the CIA did it, even though a bunch of crazy people are trying to push that the CIA did it. I don't think that is true whatsoever. So, all right. Moving on, we got stuff going on in Iran. We already went for a bunch of strikes on Iran, destroying not only bridges this time, but also airfields. So we're taking out a crap ton of their airfields right now. Let's go take a look at the flight map, see what's going on there. Again, I have no idea what the hell's going here.
Out of the way. If you're gonna stay out of the way, so just stay out of the way.
As long as no one comes to the house, I can stay out of the way. That's what I can tell you.
I'm sending my locksmith to come.
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell's going on there with the football player thing. I don't know. I don't know. Or the guy with the camera. Maybe they're going to shoot a porno and it went wrong. I don't know. Somebody else is saying something else is going on tonight, but I'm not seeing it. I'm pretty sure they never found the Ayatollah's body. I'm thinking that whatever hit him probably destroyed his bodies in ways you could not imagine. And that guy is no longer causing anybody any issues. Maybe in hell he is. I don't know. I don't know what hell he would go to. All right, let's go check the old flight radar. Let's see. Everyone's avoiding Iran like the plague. It doesn't surprise me. I'll feel a lot of planes going on right now, though. So we got Strato tankers that are already in the area. He's probably going to start doing racetracks here, I'm guessing. Another Strato tanker. What's this? So 2 Strato tankers are currently refueling somebody while they're up there. Well, and then that's the other thing is you got the cardboard Ayatollah out there being, danced around thinking that some other guy's out there. There's nobody else out there. Nobody else is going to possibly take that guy's spot right now. The IRGC just needs somebody there as a figurehead. They could kill off the guy, whoever they want behind the scenes, put someone new in there and just, oh, this is him. Here's a cardboard cutout. This is him. The Asian FX weakens amid the rise of U.S. and Iran and geopolitical uncertainties. Crude oil rises after U.S. and Iran strikes, offering contrasting positions on Hormuz. Iran is trying to broaden the attack on the Gulf states after U.S. strikes. Apparently, people are reporting that they're going to try to do bigger strikes over in Iran on the United States very, very soon. So the strikes continue over 3 hours, according to U.S. Central Command. 1 killed and 4 injured in a U.S. strike on water pumping station. Huh? Water pumping station? Why would they be hitting water? Huh? I wonder. Maybe one of them watches my show and is listening. If so, give me a grant of $10 million. Thank you. Hitting water stations and airports? Ha. Apparently gold went down. I don't really follow any of stock things, but gold went down. Again, we hit an airport. We hit water pumping stations. What else did we hit? We hit multiple military bases and boathouses. Oh, that said bathhouses for a second. Yeah, we're hitting bridges. Apparently one of the power plants we came very close to hitting. Oh, that's the wrong person. One U.S. airstrike just hit meters away from the Bashir nuclear power plant. Extremely dangerous escalation, the people are claiming. If the main plant was hit, the entire Persian Gulf would be filled with radioactive air. That's not entirely true. Depends what we hit it with. I wonder if we hit it with a big enough bunker buster we could bury it at the same time. That'd be interesting to see. What did they find? Well, I think they found the Ayatollah sex toys. No, they didn't say what they found, but it was enough to strip the plane down, do its bolts, and then, and now the Air Force is, I think, rebuilding it. People are trying to point out they think the Mitch McConnell photo might be heavily doctored to make him look less dead. The Mitch McConnell one. Oh, why we update stuff of what's going on in Iran. No, they're not going to have water very soon. Lights are probably the next thing. They haven't already been hit. Where you're going, you don't need lights. What? Apparently, Trump said when asked about Iran, he says, I want to honor the life of Lindsey Graham. I don't want to talk about it. I told you that before the call. I want to talk about one person today, Lindsey Graham. So apparently Trump didn't even want to talk about Iran today. He actually wanted to talk about Lindsey Graham. Which was very nice of him to want to bring up. I can get that. Sorry, I'm trying to get all the info right. What's going on? The biggest thing is what's going on with Trump's plane. That's the biggest thing. Trump's safe. Plane's going to be secured. Strider tanker that was doing racetracks is already heading back. So it looks like the refueling has already been done. Or at least it's out of fuel. It's going to be refueling again. They have wells? I mean, they might have wells, but the wells can only secure so much water for people. Apparently a woman's painful stomach condition was cured after a doctor prescribed her 1.5 liters of Diet Coke a day. The soda dissolved a rare mass of undigested food in just 2 days. Oh, you hear that, everybody? If you got stomach problems, time to drink Diet Coke like it's going out of style. 1.5 liters of Coke, that's a lot of goddamn soda to drink. Can you imagine? That is a lot of soda to drink. But I guess it fixed her tummy problem. Good thing you didn't tell her to stick it up her ass or anything. That would have been terrible. Well, and that's why I think them hitting the critical infrastructure is A-okay. Military policeman has stated a discussion about a men's mental health after he broke down in tears after being gifted a rose by a random man. I'm going to say that's staged and bullshit. If you're on duty and some random guy comes up to you and gives you a rose and a letter and you start crying, you need to go get a mental evaluation immediately. Like, I'm going to guess it's all bullshit. Iran has been depleting their aqueduct for 40 years of agriculture. It started running dry a few years ago. Major problem. What's going on, Bez? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I would say again with I would say right now with Iran, them losing water is going to be a big deal. And again, maybe we could start dropping leaflets down. Did you guys see this little gem? Anyone see this gem yet today? Whee! Two, one, he's wearing sneakers. I don't know if anyone sees that. Basically, this Russian training accident happened because someone took a rotary machine gun from a helicopter and treated it like a normal ground gun. The Yak Beast 12.7 was originally made for an Mi-24 attack helicopter. It has a brutal recoil, and the force it produces are nothing like a regular machine gun. On a helicopter, the airframe and the mounts can absorb the madness. Also, the difference is it's also hydraulically controlled and mounted, not two little, arms, right? Whee! Comrade, I do not think this is a good idea. Look, Yakov, I do not believe this is a good idea to put gun on here. But I need your extra strong, comrade. Yeah, not good, not good. They're all shit scared. That one dude got flung. I don't think he's gotten back up yet. Whee! Oh, hi, Brady. Yeah, he tried to stop it with one hand and got, thrown down. They're lucky they're not all dead, because it's a 12.7 round. 12.7 is a good size round. Who could have seen this unforsaken circumstance? And like this dude here, oh my God, did he get lucky? Like, mere inches from taking his head right off. Is Volka alive? Volka where? Where? That's it. Fuck your mouth. You shot that whole team. Fuck me. Is that what they said? Was that their real Russian translation? You almost killed everybody here, comrade. Definitely burned his hand. Yeah. Again, absolutely. absolutely just madness. It was translated on Reddit? Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Look what I do for you, comrade. As a lot of you know, my old day job used to be a technical director and a sound engineer. And I'm going to give you a big no-no. If this is my stage and I see you doing this, I will be upset. So this guy decided that he was going to have the bright idea of climbing this truss. Now, mind you, that truss is already rated not for a human. Climbs over the video wall that's on top of it. It's also not ladder truss, so it's not made to be climbed. Ladder truss has actually rungs on it on one side. You put it on the outside if you have to climb up there and fix anything. That is not ladder truss, that they're talking about the trussing. He gets on top of this. As you can see, it's already rocking and rolling and moving around. I'm guessing that the bottom of it was not very well secured. That's only secured probably by sandbags, if not the general weight of the device. So for me, if it's an outdoor event, I'm hanging stuff off of it. Usually I'll throw down some ballast tanks and then connect it with cables. I'm trying to Durham out to GAU-8. Oh, that'd be fun to watch too. But she gets on this thing, and the other thing you could see is this is some Mickey Mouse shit. Is the video walls are actually secured by ratchet they're not ratchet straps. They are they're cloth straps. Have a name. Span sets, because they're too cheap to go out there and buy the goddamn clamps for it. I believe they're blowing up roads to the power plants and to the immediate transmission infrastructure versus the plant itself. Daryl, Daryl, I would say that is a good guess. I'd go with that. So this guy up here who's got the brain cells of a hamster climbed up on this. By the way, there's something else here I just noticed. Oh God, I'm noticing way too many things about this. There's bolts missing on that piece of truss. I don't know if you guys can see it over there. I must enhance. There's bolts missing right there in that piece of truss. Actually, there's a lot of bolts missing on this piece of truss. So you see where those holes are? There should be bolts there. You see it? You see it, everybody? Again, was my job for a long time. So we're missing bolts to the corner block. We're missing bolts to the... Oh, and it's bent. Oh, so it's lost structural integrity already up there on the top. Let's see. What else can I point out? So this guy, this idiot, climbs up here, right? Climbs up here. Oh, there's zip ties holding some stuff into place. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, well, so usually what they do for the bolts is you'll put the bolts in with a washer on each side, and then you'll, a lot of times they don't even do this, but you should. You go out there with the Torx and you torque it down to where it's supposed to be. And if you have the extra bolts, I used to put a second bolt on the back to keep them from backing out, but that's not really needed. But once you connect them, they're fine. There should be 12 bolts total per section. And also with the way this is built, that should not be a short section. Should be longer sections going across to keep the integrity. Because the more bolts you put, the more bolts that you put, that is a failure point at those ends. So you don't want to do that. So what we usually will do is we'll show up and you'll have I have my own trussing and stuff. You'll have ammo cases full of bolts and extra bolts. Oh, I've seen some garbage, my friend. I've seen some garbage. Also, you're using yellow cables when something's going to be shown. You shouldn't do that. That's also bad. So he goes up there and stands on the thing that's not meant to be stand on. That's not really structurally secure to begin with. For whatever reason. And then he's looking down at the stage. And mind you, if you look at the stage now, one, if you put all that trussing up there, why not fly the arrays, right? You could fly the arrays, get them up off the ground, because right now whoever is in front of those arrays is getting blasted right to the head with that sound. And after a few heads, you're not going to really get a lot over there. So you might as well throw up on top and do that. Subwoofers are stacked probably to try to get over people. Again, very Mickey Mouse. Very Mickey Mouse bullshit. Also, the guy is singing towards this camera guy for some stupid reason, and not towards the audience, who he should be. So the audience is currently looking up at his butthole instead of towards everybody else. As you can see right... Oh, Dr. Sayus. Oh, shit. Is that... You able to see that? You are able to see that. That trussing has no base plate. That trussing is sitting directly onto the grass. So instead of having... So they have a base plate you put on the bottom. And the base plate... he's probably about 12 feet up in the air. The base plate is wider, right? So depending on what trussing you use, they go anywhere from 1.5 feet to 2 feet to 3 feet. And then you could put some stuff on top of it, like sandbags and stuff like that. That has nothing. That is behind two subwoofers with a orange-ass cable running up the center of it in the middle, and another span set against it. So the base plates are pieces of aluminum that take 4 countersunk bolts in the bottom to have it sit flat. You have to use a countersunk bolts, because if not, it's going to be all wibbly wobbly. And I've seen idiots bring the wrong bolts, and I'm like, you see this one that's totally flat that goes in there? Yeah, that's the one that goes in there. Oh, but why? So it can sit flat. But that's on grass, and there's no base plate to that. So, Dr. Antitrust. So there's no base plate there. Now, it doesn't matter what you're setting up. You should always put the base plates on because it gives a nice footing to it. Otherwise, you have all this weight put into a small area that's now pressing into the dirt. See it? You guys can see where the no base plate is back there? If you follow it down. They got a nice moving head right there. I don't know why the moving head's not up on the truss. That moving head, there's totally room for it. You can even side mount it if you wanted. But now it's in a great place when you're performing the shoot the guy in the eye so he can't see what the hell's going on. They also have a bunch of strobes and blinders up there for some reason. And then instead of full video walls, they have these little pissant ones where they just wrapped them around for God only knows what reason. AstroTurf. I would turn on the music, but I don't want you guys to hate me because I wouldn't want to listen to it. As you can see, he's up there, stuff's wobbling. Again, and it's missing bolts. So from a standpoint of a technical director, I would say that this would not pass, and I would tell them, you are not allowed to perform with this like this. They only have bolts, it looks like in the bottom and maybe the top, where people will say, oh yeah, well that's a lot, right? Those bolts are made to hold like thousands of pounds. Well, the problem is that you're weakening the whole structure. And that pole up there is already bent on top, so that could fail at any moment. Again, it's probably what's wobbling too, is it's not footed very well. Yes, there is 4 feet to it. Yes, it should technically be okay. But let's say a strong breeze came over and that thing got just a little off the ground without those base plates, it'd fall right over. Not the best way of doing it, in my opinion. Not the best way. I don't know who the Darwin Award winner is. Let's see. Let me move up because yeah, that looks hooked up correctly. He's got the data lines going to it. Does he? Yeah, he does. Okay. I mean, like, the music's atrocious, but here, I'll... He's going to Camp Smart. He's about to. But I'm pointing out all the other problems wrong with this thing, too. Is that a hookah on the table? It is! This woman does not look very impressed. Right. So he comes here, right? And down he goes. I think he landed on that monitor over there, which is also misplaced. He's taking a nap, YouTube. It's okay. He's taking a nap. He's just having a little nighty time. He's fine. He's okay. Look, I'll reverse it. Look, he's fine now. And by this point, he really knew he done fucked up. Oh, and there he goes. Yeah, he landed right on that monitor on his side. So that's probably a broken rib. It's going to be my guess, and some internal bleeding. Keep singing. The show must go on. Also, yellow, orange extension cord. Looks like ass. Oh, and he knocked the moving head off. So, believe it or not, he is actually not the first thing I would worry about. Getting that moving head off the ground is because those things heat up awfully quickly. And having it lamed at the floor like that can catch a fire quite fast. Especially with all that AstroTurf there. I don't know how well it's going to burn and melt. But I would get that light off there first. Then I would help him. Or at least get it off, right? Cheers, picking him up. Oh, he is hurting. Oh, he is hurting. He needs an ambulance. He's trying to sing still. No, he's not. He's got a concussion. He doesn't know where he's at. That's what's going on. Guys, I don't feel so good. Again, one of you might want to go get in there. And then the cameraman's still filming. I'll translate for you. My friend just died. He fell off the stage. He's not going to make it. Someone get an ambulance. He's about to die. Can you someone go get me an ambulance? Any day now. So it looks like he hit his ribs and hit his head on the way down. Get out of the way, you're messing up the show. I broke my damn dick. Yeah, so anyways, there you go. Sorry, I nerded out. I nerd out to the stuff I know very well, and that is one of the things. I'm sorry, I know, annoyed you all with it. My bad. My bad. You're very musical people. Who is that again? I don't know. You guys, I'll drop you the link to it. I was more interested in the stage setup and the guy falling on his ass. I was like, oh, this is funny. Then I started looking at the stage. I was like, oh, this is terrible. Magumba, what are you doing? You know, and I thought it was in the United States until I heard them like start singing and talking. I was like, oh, this is not the United States. All right. That's why that's why this workmanship is so shoddy. But to be honest, I've seen worse in the United States. There is one of my apprentices I trained who is now working for an Alabama pyrotechnics company and making pretty damn good money. They went to go work for this Mickey Mouse rental house, which is was just crap. And so he sent me pictures like, look at the staging they built. Isn't it awesome? And I looked at it and I said, you know, your trussing's Boeing, right? And those straps you have that are bright yellow are people drawing people's eyes. And I started pointing everything else to him. He's like, you know what? I think I'm going to go find a new job. I was like, that's very smart of you. And I guess the stage there that they built after he left a year, less than a year, 6 months later, one of their riggings actually broke and collapsed and almost hurt a bunch of people. So I was like, yeah, good thing you didn't stay there. So there is worse out there, I would say. Definitely worse. Iran is starting to read by candlelight. Candlelight. Make sure you hit the like. There you go. That's what I was trying to say. Make sure you hit the like if you have not already done it. Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all. The other thing is donations. Cash, Venmo, PayPal, buy me a coffee. Whatever you guys can would be absolutely amazing. Help us out extraordinarily right now since I'm in the negative of my accounts. And let's see, anything else, go to flavorforce.com and also go to trapperoutdoors.com. Especially trapperoutdoors.com because I need about 10 of you to buy a gun this month from them, or ammo, or both, or a suppressor, or 100 pounds or 200 pounds of tannerite. I don't know. All right, that's enough shekel hounded. Back to the news. Back to the news. Well, so we hit some bridges, hit some more bridges. We hit their water pumping stations. We've hit a couple military bases. Did I say airports already we hit? Nah. Wait, I could hear something from there. Oh, apparently the UN Secretary General is deeply concerned by the serious escalation in Iranian military confrontations in the Gulf, including Iranian attacks on ships in the Strait of Hormuz, the attack of the United States on Iran, and the attack of Iran on targets in neighboring countries, his spokesman said Sunday. Maybe the UN should step in, right? Just saying. Maybe the UN should be like, hey, you know, America, you were right. UN, the Iran's some not of the greatest people, and maybe, just maybe, we should all go and go do something about that. Yeah? I don't think it's going to happen, but I can dream and I can hope that's going to happen. That would be the UN having to get off of its collective ass, and because isn't Iran in the UN? Isn't Article 5 already? Like, come on now. I mean, so the idea of a pipeline is interesting, but not the greatest, right? Because pipelines are sitting targets. Ships, on the other hand, are not. So I could see the ups and downs, but for the while now, we still have to get those pipes in there. And that's going to be a bitch of an itch on its own. Unionize the world, yeah. Ask trappers if they have any reasonable price on a millimeter. Well, they do, actually. What are you looking for? They actually have on sale right now cases of, I think, Winchester. Where is it? 9mm Luger 115 FMJs. $13 a box, or you can buy it by a case for cheaper. Oh, un-Nazi'd. Oh, I misread. Oh, full pistol. Okay, hold on. I can do that for you right now. While the rest of you are out there, go to trapperoutdoors.com. You can look with us and shop with us there. So they have damn near any pistol that you want. I have a subcompact Canic I like a lot. I really, really, really like. Which you guys know I've talked about it a lot. The other one that I would suggest, let's see. Oh, Cotton Eye Joe, where did you go? 9mm. They have some other ones too, which are like around $200 or $300, but I don't know. The Canic to me is my go-to. I need them to really fix their website though. I think I need to sit down with them and be like, look, man, when I click on handgun, you should have only these things. Like when I go to caliber for handgun, like I know like some of the handguns are in there for like an AR AR pistol, but otherwise it's a lot of shit I have to sift through while looking for stuff. Should be easy for the consumer, right? You should be able to click on it and go right to it. And then be like, oh, I want a AR pistol instead. Let's see, their brand. Let me go to brand really quick again while I look for this. I'm also trying to get Tio to go do stuff, and I'm going to poke him with a stick. Canic USA Victor. What's reasonable price to you? Those burnt bronze guns are badass. They will make you whatever. They're a full machine shop. They're a level 7 armory, and they will they do cerakoting, they do engraving. I'm trying to get one of my buddies who's into anime to go have a gun made by them, so they have to do anime stuff. $400. Let's see. How about the Canic FT 9mm? That one's a little out of your budget. $559. It looks like the rest are all. Let's go see what the cheapest one I would go for. If you're doing 400, we're gonna talk about guns really quick, chat, while we're just sitting here on our hands. That's what I've got put back. Okay, well, let me go so you can fight for your price range then. Canics are just a little bit out because the ones in the 450 range are the subcompacts and the compacts. The first full-size one is at like 550. Let's see, 400. Let's see, high to low. What do we have? What do we have here that I would buy for $400? A Taurus. Those aren't too bad. I have a Taurus. You can get a Taurus full size 9mm, 17 plus 1, $384.99. That's right, felon. That is 100% correct. And they have a few full-size Rugers too. Smith & Wesson has one. I don't know I think it's a full size, $365. Well, so remember, when you go to contact them, tell them I sent you and you get a discount. So it's going to save you money anyways. Shields are pretty cheap, yeah. Yeah, I would say maybe the Taurus isn't so bad. It's in your price range. Contact them, send them an email tonight. Tell them Wolf sent you and that you're looking for either a Canic, because they might have some used ones too, that you could get for cheaper. So you might be able to call them up, and with my discount and get a used, you might be able to score a pretty good deal. Anyone else? Any other gun questions before I go back to the war? I do not understand how Lookner makes so much money. Oh, I know I do. Apparently it's just one guy that keeps donating to him. He's just staring at the screen. He's not even getting anything entertaining. Like, the amount of dead air is horrible. I don't get it. I don't understand. I was like, what is he looking about over there on Iran? So I went and took a look, and it's just him staring at the screen. It's kind of freaking me out, man. Freaking me out. I put my Arkansas toothless hooker money and saved 400. Nice. You know, if you really want to get your hooker, you could just bring him some drywall and say it's crack. You know, the other thing you can get, Camp Smarts, is let's say you got that Taurus and have them order a barrel and set it up for you to be ready for a suppressor right from the shop. That's another idea. And again, they might have some other pistols over there too. Let me text them too. And who knows? You might show up there and be like, this is what I got. I've been watching Wolf for years. This is what I'm looking for. Help you out. Help you out. All right, that's enough shuckle handling for that. Rich got you a pistol, he can't use it, didn't bother asking what it was. The freaking thing is too heavy and too big for my hands. Now I can't find it, what it is. I wanted to tell you about it, but I couldn't find it. You know what you could have done? You could have came to me and I could have told you to go to trapperoutdoors.com and measured your hands. Made sure that you got something that was right for you instead of going and relying on your husband who got the wrong thing. I could have made sure you got the right one. Make sure you save up next and go trapperoutdoors.com. Man, that was a good pitch. Damn. Damn, that was a good pitch. Woo! Come on. That was good, right? Like, be funny. He comes in right when I'm doing that. I did tell him if he's looking for somebody to do online stuff for the shop and they answer emails and stuff and do customer service, I'm more than happy to do it. And I could have another full-time job again. I'd have to look on the website. Houston? What are we talking about? Houston. I think if China, Iran, or Russia were ever to bomb us in the States, we should allow them to bomb Portland. No repercussions. Well, I mean, Portland doesn't, I think, have any ports or anything we would want to use, even though it's called Portland. $170 dehydrated water. Over 170. Four hours ago, anti-ship cruise missiles launched from Sirleaf, Iran towards the Strait of Hormuz. So apparently they're still trying to hit ships and people over there. Yeah, over 170. We're approaching, it might be over 200 by now. Well, that's a good thing about you contacting me for TrapperOutdoors.com is I also have fibromyalgia and degenerative disc disease. Even though I'm a man, I know what you are going through. Donate now. Yeah, I would say, to be honest, the Canic would fit your hand perfect. The subcompact, the 9mm, I think you would dig it. Berettas are nice. You would think me being Italian, I would own more Berettas, but I currently own none. Let's see, I own guns from Germany, Turkey. Where else do I own them from? Czech? Walther? I don't know where the hell Walther was made anymore. Used to be a UK gun. A Benelli, that's Italian. Hold on, let me get Yuffie over here. Hey, wife, I need you to come grab this thing. Nice. I kind of want to get a drum for my Walther, just because I get bored reloading. I want to be able to, tell me how this fits your hand. That's right, grip it hard. Yeah, the blue part. How's that fit your hand?
A little chunky.
Yeah? What size ring do you wear? Oh. Oh, your hands are a little bit bigger. Does the Walther fit your hand better, the 22? Okay. Thank you. You could do an AR pistol. That's another thing you do. Yeah, I have Walther, whatever the 22 is. That thing's great. I kind of like holding that thing. Like, snappy little bastard. Darlene, thank you for the $10.
Darlene has just tipped $10. Tip you broke cheap fucks.
To me, it was pretty easy to get my gun shipped to me. So I live in Oregon and they're in Arkansas. It was literally, give us the FFL information, we'll email them. They email each other. It was shipped and I picked it up within 3 days. It's pretty easy. Once, of course, it was paid for. Air raid siren sounding in Bahrain as we speak. I have Bahrain up there in #1. I could go look for another one of Iran if you'd like. I don't really care about the guy's beautiful manicured lawn I'm looking at, but here you go. An FFL is a thing that's against the Constitution. Federal firearm license holder. So I guess if you are your own FFL, that's different. But yeah, if you just go look around like where you're at, like it's just a gun shop. And certain gun shops might charge a fee for transferring in. Some don't care. I want my own FFL, so they can just send me shit right to my house. No, it's not a gun license. It's, again, I don't know about your state, how that works, but for most states, you have to have a gun shop they ship it to, that's all. So as long as it's a registered gun shop with the feds, I just go pick it up. But an FFL license means that you're your own gun shop. Yeah. Like where I live, I don't need a gun license either. I just go to my shop. Well, the thing is, my local shop's actually a pawn shop, but whatever. I don't really give a shit. I pay them $20 and they ship it in. I don't care. Fill out this form. Here you go. Here's your gun. Thanks. Bye. When I lived in California, you had to wait like 2 weeks. Talk about some bullshit. And I even asked the guys, I said, you know why this is crap? And he's like, why? I'm like, because you know all the guns I own. He's like, I know. Iran forces have begun firing ballistic missiles this morning. So, you could swap your meat for somebody, I guess, for one of them. Had my suppressor shipped directly to your house? That's pretty cool. I wonder if I could do that. But was your suppressor just a Fram oil filter? Yeah, that happens in Oregon too, Camp Smart. Same thing. Same exact thing. And I wonder if, because my state's the same, if I went and bought something in Arkansas, if I could just take it home that same day. I don't know how that works. New York City Mayor Zoran Madami's wife, Rama Douaji, is facing criticism after traveling to Malacora, Spain for a sold-out Islamic spiritual wellness retreat. During the America's 250-year celebration, she flew from Newark to Palma to attend a retreat. Well, yeah, because they don't give a shit about America. That should be pretty straightforward. I don't know why anybody's surprised. Maybe. I mean, Travis would do that for me if they're able to. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, it's a pillow. There you go. It's Wix. Yeah, we're broke. You know, actually, I like the Wix stuff. Like, I got it for the truck, and, like, I was looking at it, and, like, this is the same freaking, just as good as Fram. Like, at a quarter of the price. An 8-year-old boy was in... An 8-year-old girl was in her backyard playing with a An 8-year-old girl was in her backyard when a stranger came from the woods and grabbed her, covered her mouth and tried to pull her towards the trees. Her 13-year-old brother was inside playing video games. He heard the screams, grabbed a slingshot, and fired twice, hitting the attacker in the head. Police later found the suspect hiding near a gas station with a huge lump on his head. What a good brother. Apparently people have asked Zendaya, or asked Tom Holland, how does he feel when he sees Zendaya getting felt up and people having simulated sex with her on film? Apparently he just kind of gives people a look and has been walking away. People think the relationship is not nearly doing as well as he's tried to say it is. Hey, Tom Holland, how do you feel about that dude on film grabbing your wife's titty? You okay with that, huh, buddy? I mean, he should be scared about it. Oh, Wix makes Napa and O'Reilly's filters. Well, shit, I'm just gonna stick with the Wix filters then. Speaking of, I gotta go change my oil, I think, tomorrow. Bomb, 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 Iran. Sounds like an aviary. It does. A lot of birds out there are waiting for some impacts to come in from Iran. I gotta move some stuff around. Chat, my brother Strawman wants to buy an electric Sprinter van to live in, to go camping in. You may all discuss with him about that idea. I see the ups and downs of the idea. I guess one, you won't need to buy gas if it's electric. You just put solar panels and wait. Maybe if he has a generator, that would work too, for emergencies. I don't think it will look like shit either. I think you'll be fine. But you know, that's another good point, Lou, is he could go to the charging stations too across the country. Oh. You know, I didn't even mention anything about Elliot Page. I was sick about hearing about her too. Him, them, whatever. U.S. carried out airstrikes on the underground missile storage facility inside the 4th Tactical Fighter Base in Duzel, Western Iran. The strikes were reportedly conducted using bunker busters. So now we're hitting their underground facilities. Didn't say, Doug. It did not say, buddy. Mark Zuckerberg, an outspoken critic of man-made climate change, shows off his $300 million, 287-foot mega yacht powered by 4 gigantic diesel engines. Rules for thee, but not for me. Imagine that. They need a good radiation leak. Just like China has. I don't know if anybody was paying attention to Ian McGregor, but apparently Ian McGregor has no longer going to be doing MMA. I guess he messed up his ACL. That does not surprise me about Taylor Swift. That was true. Oh, Star Citizen again is in the news. Star Citizen's new update, they say, is going to be fixing all the bugs, allegedly, supposedly, that the last 2 updates failed to do, that they put in there. The other thing is apparently people are upset that even though they spend almost $3,000 on a ship, the Icarus, that a single fighter was able to take out all the turrets and make it damn near useless, and then board it and kill everyone on board. I still play it from time to time, Dehydrated. Like, I'll go on there, like my brother plays, will go on there with me and we'll dick around, or me and Comrade, but it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I get on there and I'm just like, I don't know what the hell I want to go do or why I should go do it, right? Apparently my guy doesn't need food or medical assistance. It's like, it's literally the point of communism. Everything's given to me, even though it might be a hole. And I have no motivation to get anything, so I'm just gonna rot here and die. I know, it kind of, yeah, and like there's stuff right now, they added a crafting system, but as has been aimed at many people with that game is that there's no real reason to ever finish it, right? You make more money by having the game never finished. And then somebody commented saying, well, I only play the game because I like that I can collect spaceships. It's like, yeah, but that's not a game. Like, and also, why do you want to only collect spaceships and pay like $6 or $7 grand into it? It's just silly, in my opinion. And I know there's a group of people out there who think is like, well, it's okay, I'll let the whales spend money so I don't have to. The problem is those people spending money are the ones that get to dictate how the game goes. And that's bad because instead of getting like a nice game, right? Instead of getting a nice game, you get whatever the whales want. They wanted a lot more players. They wanted to like have like races and live players you'd watch on TV shows, your base and stuff. They're never going to add any of that. So the base building they're going to do, because they've determined that if they let the players build shit, they could fill up the universe without them having to do anything. That's number one. Number two, they used to tell people, oh yeah, you can have like special facilities where you're building missiles and whatever else, and then you could sell them. And in theory, the crafting system will allow you to do that, but I don't really see it happening. I mean, I wish they wouldn't have ruined COD either. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential, and that's kind of the other thing that was the video game industry is kind of dealing with right now is that Pragmata, that game blew every other game out of the water, and no one really hyped it. Nobody really talked about it. And all of a sudden, here it is. Here's this game. There wasn't tits and ass everywhere. There was nothing weird. It's just a guy destroying robots with his robot child, and that was it. Elite and Dangerous does get boring. I kind of like Elite and Dangerous when I want to relax. I'll throw it on with the VR headset and the flight sticks. But I can only do that for so long. After a while, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm done with this. Because again, the problem is, the problem is that you need a reason to do shit. Like, you need some motivation. Connor is amazing. Erwin is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. We're just waiting for more bombs to drop, everybody. The amazing bomb network. All bombs all the time. Iran strikes the U.S. Fleet's HQ in Bahrain, allegedly direct impact. People are saying they hit the 5th Fleet HQ. They tried to say that they killed 3 servicemen, which was not true whatsoever, and the servicemen were fine. Here it says 4 missiles were intercepted over Saudi Arabia. So they launched 4 missiles. Sounds like they're all intercepted. They keep making stuff up saying that they're hitting us and killing a bunch of people, and US SETCOM's like, nope, that didn't happen. Keep trying. Because remember, the people that they have need some sort of motivation to keep on fighting, right? Yeah, they're trying to grasp at everything. The only people they ended up killing the civilians. They are literally a mentally handicapped, yeah. Very low IQ people. People are saying Mitch McConnell's silence on Lindsey Graham's death is passing is deafening. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not sure Mitch knows where he's at. I'm here looking at stuffs. So for boots on the ground, to get them Persian rugs, it's probably going to be the Israelis is what it's looking like. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures of McConnell out there. People are like, why is he dressed like that? Why is that newspaper not have any writing on it? What the hell's going on here? What in the 9 hells is happening? This is not the right guy. Yeah, we can have Mitch's. Poor damn Mitch McConnell. Heard rumors SF could be called in soon? Maybe. You mean for Iran? Or to go see if Mitch is alive? It's funny how people are still trying to talk about the ceasefire and stuff like that. I'm like, the ceasefire's over, dude. Like, are you high? Like, anybody who thinks the ceasefire is still around is pants on the head stupid.
Over the strait, and we've seen that in the numbers of ships in the last 48 hours. I think barely any, if I think only one or two I've seen confirmed through that southern corridor, which shows Iran is still in control. And as long as that is the case, and we can't force it out of their hand, this is going to continue on until we, I guess, give in to what the Iranian side wants, or there's not going to be a resolution.
Right. So the Strait of Hormuz and the tussle over that waterway, of course, is a very significant aspect of what's happening here. Also, the symbolism and the messaging, really, that's coming in from the two sides. But let's also talk about the Lebanon issue, for example, which also brings us to Netanyahu's stance overall as far as the war and the conflict is concerned. Where do you think things would head from here onwards on that front?
Yeah, that's if the Strait of Hormuz was the only thing we had to worry about, it would be a nearly intractable situation. You could probably figure something out, but it's not the only one. The Lebanon issue is the Strait of Hormuz was paragraph 5. This is paragraph number 1 because that is the most emotionally important thing to the Iranian side. And they say they don't want just a ceasefire. They say there has to be the withdrawal of the Israelis completely out of Lebanon, totally, and an end to the war. And the Israeli side has no possibility.
The China Times,
no willingness
the Fifth Fleet has been totally destroyed.
They're going to have a permanent security belt in the southern part of the country. They've already driven out 200,000 Lebanese people in what they claim is now something of a security buffer. And until you get rid of that issue, there's not possibility for even solving this. So that is the biggest, I think, the most intractable thing. And so Strait of Hormuz,
we have so many weapons that are just chilling that nobody's really talking about. It's stupid.
Israeli military.
It's not like we stopped making bombs and missiles.
Trump and therefore from Iran to withdraw from southern Lebanon. I just can't see politically how Netanyahu could ever do that. So I think we are literally in an absolute impasse.
All right, we're leaving it there for the moment, but thanks very much for joining us with those perspectives.
Thank you.
Iran's new leader, Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei, says that avenging his slain predecessor and father is the demand of the nation and must certainly take place. Mujtaba Khamenei vowed to avenge the blood of his father. Let us listen in to Iron Anchor reading part of the statement by Iran's supreme leader, Mujtaba Khamenei.
I'm not going to listen to that shit. You know what's really funny is that what happened to this school that President Trump apparently bombed? Remember, that was a big thing everyone was talking about? President Trump went and bombed this school. Remember that was a huge thing and everybody was talking about it, and all of a sudden nobody's talking about it anymore? Weird, right? Isn't that kind of weird? It's almost like it wasn't true and never really happened. Like, maybe it was propaganda. Who knows? Because again, really funny that you know nobody's talking about that. I agree. This one has talked itself into a massive ass whooping. It's not really that small of a country. It's like 1/3 the size of the United States, maybe a half. It's pretty big. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that they could take us on or anything like that, but I mean, they're not like a little tiny They're not like a little tiny country. Yes. Oh, and the bombs manufacturing stamp survived. Yeah, exactly. I call shenanigans. I had something I was going to put on that was actually of importance, and now I lost it. Apparently a group of people are upset that while they live in the hood, that some crackhead kept coming by and pooping inside the washing machines for the clothes. Apparently they decided now they would have to start locking up or they thought they were going to start locking up the room. So they closed the room, they cleaned the washer and dryer out, they gave everyone keys. Lo and behold, what ends up happening, somebody again came in, unlocked the door, and took another steaming shit inside the washer. So now they think it's a resident. So I have to live in an apartment. Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. Apparently people are saying Ayatollah Azali Arif, Iran's second highest leader behind the brutal anti-woman law, was killing thousands for not wearing hijabs, was taken out overnight by the Iran strikes on Tehran. So apparently we killed another high-end person. Very shitty. I thought it was funny. That's all I'm sharing. Again, folks, this show is sponsored by wonderful people like you. Every time we get that bar filled, it's so I can keep the lights on, the show going, and the roof over my head, and everything else. If you guys could donate, that'd be absolutely spectacular. $1 from each of you would be amazing. Don't make Bez have to be the only one. That's the guy outside that football player's house. Don't care. I don't care. I want the news on Iran. God damn it, give me the news. Give me the news now. Nice, amazing sounds. 3 hours ago. There we go. All right, Mitch. Take a seat on the bench. Not needed right now.
After Tehran ignored his latest deadline to reopen the critical Strait of Hormuz, prompting a major military response from President Trump and the Pentagon. CENTCOM says the strait remains open for transit, but Iran says it is closed. Mike Tobin reports live from Tel Aviv. Mike.
Hey, John, we've got indications that Iran is striking back. Kuwait confirms now several strikes from hostile aircraft at border crossings at an oil rig. The Iranian Fars news agency says what the Iranians were aiming at is U.S. missile launching hardware. Now, this follows strikes by the U.S., confirmed now by U.S. Central Command. The U.S. says sea-based and land-based fighter jets, as well as drones and munitions, were fired from ships and all used in the attack. The U.S. says targets included missile and drone sites, naval capabilities, and sites used for surveillance. This evening, we've got new reports of explosions in Bandar Abbas and Qeshm Island in Iran, not confirmed by sources outside of Iran. The latest round of airstrikes was triggered by Iran firing on another commercial ship crossing the Strait of Hormuz. The ship, flagged out of Cyprus, was hit. There was a fire on board and damage to the engine room. At last report, the ship was immobile and stuck in the strait. A crew member, a man from India, is now missing. Now, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth posted, Iran made a poor choice
choice, now they pay. Iran has stated that the Strait of Hormuz is now closed. The U.S. says that's an international waterway open to all legal trade, and the U.S. will guarantee it. John, back to you.
Mike Tobin from Tel Aviv. Mike, thanks. Let's bring in Fox News contributor Chiron Skinner, professor of politics at Pepperdine University and a senior advisor at the Heritage Foundation. Chiron, who's running the show in Iran right now?
I think that is a question that's up for dispute. But what we do know is that the Tehran regime continues to menace as many ships and other entities in the Persian Gulf as it possibly can with its limited and degraded military. As you know, it has a very degraded air capability, air defenses, just overall limited military capacity. But in this asymmetric conflict, it uses what it has to violate the MOU signed last month. For example, earlier last week, attacking ships passing through Oman's waters. And so the Trump administration here is attempting to protect the rest of the world, the global energy supply, from actors. And going back to your initial question, who's in charge? We know that the bad guys in Tehran are in charge, that the IRGC is continuing its activities, and we also know that its Quds Force, the international wing of the IRGC, continues with tens of thousands of partners from South Asia all the way to the Levant, with a special focus on the Persian Gulf. So we've come far in the war that started back in February in terms of making it much more difficult for the government in Iran to do the global terrorism that it's been doing, but it's not done yet. And what I think we have to do, and I hope your audience really hears this, we need more time. There are many who are saying, why is this war not over? It's taking too long. But look how weak the Iranian military is now.
Matt Whitaker, who is our U.S. ambassador to NATO, says that he thinks there are really two sides, if you will, in the.
So war's not fast. I don't know why these people think it is. Wars take years sometimes, right? It's only by today's standards people think it's going to be, oh yeah, it's done next week. No, that's not a thing. Again, people are trying to claim geopolitical prime. I don't know who that is, but they usually give out fake news that's not true. Trying to say the Fifth Fleet, oh, it's eliminated. No, it's not. Not a thing. Not been hit. What has been hit? Let's see. U.S. Central Command has reports multiple waves of strikes hitting over 170 plus targets in recent days. This includes air defense systems, coastal surveillance, radar sites, missiles, and drone storage launcher sites, naval assets, and logistic infrastructure. Tio, that is somebody literally filming a Wendy's. I'm not kidding. That's what he sent me. I'm going to send Franklin to go visit you, Tio. Anyways, U.S. CENTCOM again has fired and hit over 170 plus targets. Coastal surveillance, radar sites, missiles and drone storage and launch sites, naval assets and logistic infrastructure. IRGC small boats, dozens have been hit and sunk. Key locations per Iranian state media and reports. Southern coastal area, Qasham Island, Qasham, multiple projectile explosions, Banadar Abyss, fires in military sites, Salik, Shadar, Jask and Hejabab, Bashir Province and others, Kazakhstan Province, Northern Persian Gulf, Ahiv, Mashir, water pumping stations, killing at least one guard. So we are taking out their water pumping stations in 5 different targets. Ahmadiyya, Banabdin, Dazaful, Andi Maksk, and Abadan, and other western central areas. Casualties unlimited in many of the reports, mostly suffered from shrapnel, except for one guard that took one directly into the chin, it sounds like. Sources describe the damage to ports, infrastructures, and military facilities. But what this is not saying is we also hit 4 or 5 bridges near the power stations. I think we're taking out the transfer stations. I would say that is safer than CNN. I would say. Again, mostly even for military facilities, they are not counting people who die in the military facilities as casualties of civilians. Fires and explosions have been visible in places like Benedad Abyss, especially the one, I'll try to find it, where the drone facility was blown up and a missile storage facility was blown up also. Is this the one? That's not the one. That's the one. Brighter than the sun. So is the facility we hit with bunker busters, which people speculate was an underground missile facility, blowing up munitions that they had there. Thank you, A Commentator, for the buy me a coffee.
AI commenter has just tipped $5. Shekels that have been hounded.
That's right. Time to hound more for them shekels. I think the people are a little scared. Yes. Yes. As you can see. So that seems to be the facility we hit that already had multiple bombs underneath it. We with bunker busters. Apparently 3 of them, all 3 types. So there you go. That was the explosion there. One of the bigger things we hit. What was found on Trump's airplane? You would never have guessed it. Tonight at 11. You have to unlock the secret What's on Trump's Plane DLC. That looks like a packet to you? They're not sure what they found on it, but they stripped the goddamn plane down to the bulkheads and pretty much rebuilt it. So it sounds like Israel was like, hey, there's something on your plane, dude. And they're like, oh, shit. All right, well, we're going to send it over. And the reason they said they're going to send it, I think, over to the Air Force and say it so the troops can look at it was it might have been something that could have been easily triggered and possibly hurt people. So there's a lot of kind of tongue in cheek, right? To kind of get it where it's going to go so it can be looked at. Yeah, the plane from Qatar. They're pretty sure it was from people in Iran. It seems like someone, possibly from Iran, was able to get close enough to plant something on it. So. I wanted to say that it might be safer as American made, but we have our own nutcases that are trying to kill the president too. It's kind of hard to say. I would say that the airport they got it from may not have been very secure. That's a good guess for it. Well, I said it the other day. I was like, oh yeah, Trump's not getting on there because there's something wrong with it. Lo and behold, I was correct. Iranian military media reports that a telecommunications official from Badar, Lenay County, Hezbollah province, was killed by the U.S. strike. 2 colleagues are accompanying him, where he was also injured. So again, we're taking a lot of stuff in there. Turkey on rye extra mayo. You know, that's if it was the Turkish, someone in the Turkish government that actually had something to do with it, right? And that is a big maybe. Impossible? Not so much. Maybe? Yeah, it's on the table. Footage shows Iranian ballistic missile tortures toward Bahrain with direct impact reported. Hold on. Something just started going off in my head and almost stiffened me. Footage, they say, shows launching towards Bahrain with direct reports against the U.S. Navy 5th Fleet headquarters. Again, that's not true either. From what I've seen, the 5th Fleet doesn't seem like it was hit. Maybe around it. They're trying to take out the 5th Fleet, trying to take out either the ships or the infrastructure. But again, that's not really happening. Most of the stuff I'm seeing is interceptions have happened. That was 37 minutes ago. Was what confirmed? That there was a reason they went through Trump's playing with a fine-tooth comb? Yes. Is there reports about what? So there's, and this is kind of the crazy thing, right? So there's these reports coming out from nutcases that are like, the CIA tried to kill him. The CIA did not try to kill Trump. That is not a thing. That's not a thing that happened. But crazy people are trying to say it is. Trying to say that the CIA was trying to blow him up. Oh yeah, Iran is a huge losing propaganda war. But we keep killing off their generals and people of importance. I don't remember who's over the CIA, but so I don't even know where that came from because people were trying to say that the signal. So the original thing was people were saying that the signal was sent from Langley to the airplane to disable the flight of Trump's plane to kill Trump. I don't know where people got that idea from, but that's a little bit nutty. And that didn't seem to be the thing. What seemed to be the thing, right? What seemed to be the thing is that Israel was like, hey, there's something on your plane, guy. And he's just like, oh. Well, how do you know? Well, our intelligence have told us that somebody from Iran possibly is putting someone on your plane, according to intelligence networks. And so they told our intelligence people were like, yeah, we think that's true too. Once he lands, let's go bring it over to the Air Force. Brother of the Air Force, and they found something. So, and then Iran was also saying we are for sure going to kill President Trump. Now, I think Iran's plan was to get Qatar to stop being an ally, blaming the death on the president of Qatar. The Iran's happy because Trump's dead. And then, what they didn't expect, though, is like, one, we found out what it is. And two, if they would have killed Trump, we would have found out it was them very quickly, number one. Number two, the amount of foot in the ass would have been absolutely phenomenal. And we might nuke them. Like, to be honest. I don't know if we've ever had another nation ever successfully kill a president. I know the CIA has killed their own, but that's a little different. The CIA is not Mossad. I hate to tell you guys, it's not a thing. CIA is the CIA. The FBI is the FBI. Mossad's Mossad. But Mossad warned them that, hey, you got a thing on your plane. Because right now, their biggest ally is the United States. And again, getting Trump killed is not a good idea. It's not going to be a... It's not going to be a kosher thing to happen. So yeah, that's what they found. That's what's going on. But yeah, so they figured out something was going on, and again, probably someone from Iran got in there and tried to implement something to kill the president of the United States, and it didn't happen. But if it did happen, again, that would spark one big ass powder keg that nobody is worried, or not worried, but nobody is prepared for. Yeah, Russia straight out said, and we've straight out said the same thing, that one, Putin has like a dead man switch on him, right? Just in case. I think it's like a pulse sensor or some shit. I don't think Ahab, they would have a choice. I think if they didn't, the amount of pissed offness of the American people would be crazy. What's this? Coffee? Ooh, it's coffee. I think there would be too much at stake, and I think people would be like, yeah, we have to do something. Even the people on the left, I think the amount of the American people being like, why aren't we going to war with them now, would probably tip us into some sort of cold civil war, even more so than we already are. And I think, again, it would be absolutely nutty to see. Iced coffee. But yeah, Russia knows not to kill a U.S. president because they know it would be a huge issue. And I think we would start getting into some weird gray areas. I could be Ahab. That's a more possibility. I'm not going to throw that idea out the window. Let's see. What would happen if Iran killed Trump? We'll ask the robot. That way I can get on some sort of FBI list. What if Iran had just watched a taxi driver like England? I don't know. Yeah, so that would be an act of war. It would trigger massive immediate consequences across military, political, economical structure, and global dominance. Here's a realistic outline. This is what the robot wrote us, right? Here's a realistic outline of what would likely unfold. And the U.S. doctrine and history responses. Immediate U.S. response, direct retaliation. The U.S. would certainly launch large-scale strikes on Iran. This could include precision airstrikes. I do not know why I pronounce precision that way. Precision airstrikes, missile attacks on Iranian military sites, nuclear facilities, IRGC bases, oil infrastructure, and more leadership targets. Possibly involvement of special forces or broader operation to degrade Iran's capabilities. Actively of existing plans, maximum pressure of regime threatening response. CENTCOM and allies would likely coordinate, Israel is one of them they say, in a full-scale strike through the entire country. Iran could respond with a missile on U.S. base and a Gulf attempt to close the straits for Hamas, disrupt oil 20%, which they're already doing. Proxy attacks like Hezbollah and Houthis would also try to attack at this point. This could spiral into a wider regional war involving Gulf states, Israel, and potentially others. I'm guessing that Qatar and the United Emirates, and that would all be involved in this too. U.S. historical parallels, U.S. response to the 1983 Beirut barracks bombing, 9/11, or the salami strikes. A lot of it pissed off Italians. Salami strikes would also be in response in that scale. Bipartisan fury in Congress and the public experts urgency session, unified resolution authority forces and possibly suspension of normal policies. Vice President would be sworn in immediately under the 25th Amendment. The new president would face immense pressure to respond decisively. Security crackdowns, heightened domestic alerts, potential martial law elements and threat, mass surveillance and crackdown on these Iranian-linked individuals and networks in the U.S. Political fallout, massive boots for hardline policies, investigating into intelligence failures and long-term effects on elections and legacies. Oil stock shocked, Strait of Hormuz disrupted or attacked Iranian barrels that could go up to crude to $150, $200 per barrel. Possible market stock crashes around the entire planet. Sanctions and isolation. Total economic warfare against Iran. Freezing assets, secondary sanctions of anyone trading with Iran. Possibly naval blockades. Allies like NATO, UK, France, Gulf states, and Israel would likely support or join the U.S. immediately. Russia, China might condemn, provide limited aid to Iran, or use it as a distraction, but directly intervene is unlikely to the risk of U.S./China/Russian war. U.S. Secretary Council would be deadlocked. Broader condemnation of state-sponsored assassination. Long-term regime change pressure, sustained campaign would weaken, topple Iranian's government, possibly killing everybody that is in power. The nuclear wild card would be very much out there and possibly utilized if Iran tried to do more. That's weirdly written. If Iran tried to do more terrorist attacks on neighboring states, heightened global Iran proxy attacks, cyber attacks, or other terrorism activities would be on the rise. Deterrence, it would reinforce that attacking U.S. leadership crosses a red line. No adversaries has tested this since World War II era. So it'd be catastrophic for Iran is the bottom line. We got bombs. We could try those really expensive ones, the neutron bombs. I want to see what happens when we drop those. So that's what would happen. That's what would be the end all be all if Iran decided to do something absolutely stupid and try to kill the President of the United States. So maybe it's good they didn't. Some thermobaric bombs are needed. We do know how to make antimatter. Just very expensive, very little supply, but I'm just saying it could be a thing. Could be a thing. So we have neutron explosives that people have developed, but I think they were too expensive and impractical to use. It's like, oh, let's use regular nukes that we'll probably never use again. So yeah, I understand Dems are trying to limit the response to Iran right now, but I think the killing of a president would go over the top. They'll just be like, yeah, we kind of have to do something now, guys. I'm still waiting on the use of an antimatter bomb. Still disappointed. White phosphorus? Oh, God. We'll just drop some daisy cutters. The other thing is, remember the Geneva Convention, nobody's going to uphold that shit. Just a nice thing that people like to follow. Trying to be a civilized society. But I think if that happened, we would just start, opening the gates to the military and be like, fuck them, do whatever. U.S. military, Tampa, Florida, U.S. Central Command completed a new wave of offensive strikes against Iran, hitting dozens of targets in multiple locations with precision munitions to degrade Iran's ability to continue attacking international shipping flowing through the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM forces struck Iranian military air defense systems, coastal radar sites, missile and drone capabilities, and small boats using U.S. fighter aircraft, naval vessels, one-way attack aerial drones, and one-way attack sea drones for some time. Sorry, for the first time. Oh shit, we're using drone boats. That's kind of cool. One-way attack sea drones. Well, neat. Oh, no one told us that we had those. Oh wow, it's almost like the United States has a bunch of weapons they don't tell anybody about. Strait of Hormuz is a vital maritime corridor for global trade. Iran does not control it. U.S. forces are postponed and prepared to ensure the freedom of navigation remains available. So again, Iran is now killing civilians, and I don't know why anybody's being like, this is bad. Yeah, it's bad. And apparently they're also saying that there's talks that are saying that we have an idea where all of the where the command structure currently is in Iran. Yeah, weird, right? Yeah, the discombobulator. That's the one that you shoot at the troops and they shit their pants. It discombobulates their intestines. Yeah, what a way to go out. If you're on the battlefield, you just look over at somebody and you got a pants full of shit and you just keel over. Oh. Telling you, knocked a fight idea really quickly in your troops. What happened to Abdul over there? I don't know. Some beam hit him and he pooped himself and now he's sitting there screaming. Well, they did kill 30,000 people the other day. Yeah, Ahmed Waqidi killed in recent U.S. strikes. Big claim that the Iranian opposition, although Iran has not yet officially confirmed. So yeah, we killed some more leaders, it looks like. Oh, you mean the infrasound weapons? Yeah, those are nice. And apparently, so there used to be a thing, and I haven't found it for years. There's a report about the Americans doing some testings with like microwave weapons, and they were like, "Oh, we're not sure this is really doing anything." Then they went on this other side of this berm and found a bunch of people dead. They're like in a town, they're like, "Oh shit." Yeah, you know that microwave weapon we use? Yeah, it works great. Unfortunately, we killed a bunch of people. Anyways, we gotta go. I forgot when that happened or what it was, but it's also happened with infrasound weapons that we've used. We killed a bunch of people by accident. We're like, oh shit. I think the infrasound one actually killed some scientists, so not as bad, I guess. A bunch of civilians. Too soon after Lindsay, too soon. I think we should have taken out, yeah, when they were like, oh yeah, this terrorist group, just bomb it. Like, I know there's people out there being like, no, we can't do that. It's against the rules. Fuck the rules. Obama went and killed a bunch of people at a wedding. I'll find room. Thank you, baby. My wife has brought me chicken wing. I need to find something with audio in it so I don't have to keep talking while I'm trying to eat. Let's see. What do we got? Apparently a police-involved shooting happened in L.A. You can't kill a car, it's not alive, glitch. Hey, App, I don't eat that quick, buddy. You got brought me some corn cheese, some Korean corn cheese, and chicken wings. And it's a full wing, too. So the wings were on sale. I think we got 12 wings, but it's the whole wing, right? So it's the little piece and then like the longer drum, or not drum, but you know what a chicken wing looks like. It's the whole wing. It's not just like when you go get it from a pizza place and give you only like half the wing.
The U.S. military has struck again in Iran. It's the third round of airstrikes we've seen in recent days as an interim deal to end the Iran war looks more in danger than ever before. Iran had attacked a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, a container ship. It caught fire and the crew abandoned it. The U.S. immediately launched these airstrikes afterwards, targeting some 140 sites in Iran. This is the highest number of strikes that we've seen over these days of airstrikes. Now, in response, Iran apparently retaliated with strikes targeting Qatar, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates today. Now, Iran has made a lot of other claims as well. Everything seems pretty scattered. But what is known is that missile alert sirens went off in those three countries. It remains unclear if any damage has been done. All this is coming as there had been hopes that negotiations would resume over trying to reach a permanent end to the Iran war. But the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow mouth of the Persian Gulf, through which about a fifth of all natural gas and crude oil once passed in peacetime, is central to the ongoing tensions. Now, Iran insists it must have sole control over the strait and be able to charge vessels going through it. That would upend decades of world belief that this is an international waterway, despite it being in the territorial waters of both Iran and Oman.
There's a lot of things Iran has said it can do for a long time, thankfully, including engaging their proxies and getting them involved in the fight, which they haven't been able to do. So we're watching that very closely. And as far as the vice president, he's an incredible member, leader of this team as well, alongside the president and the Secretary of State. I can't say enough great stuff about this team, how it works together, how it provides options to the president, and the vice president every single day is a key voice in that, an indispensable voice in that, actually. In the middle there, red tie. Yes.
Michael Gordon, Wall Street Journal. Iran is thought to have 440 kilograms of highly enriched uranium in at least 2 locations and several thousand kilograms of lower purity material. Can you conclude this mission successfully without physically taking control of that material, or are you counting on diplomatic negotiations to provide some measure of control leading to its removal? You've mentioned missiles, you've mentioned drones, military industry. You haven't stipulated that taking care of that material is a mission priority.
We've said from the beginning, deny Iran nuclear weapons as a core mission. We retain options across the spectrum to ensure that they never do. And President Trump has said that. And that's why this mission actually couldn't have been possible without Midnight Hammer. Without what those B-2s did going across and obliterating those facilities, that set the condition for the opportunity to do what we're doing now. So the president's kept his eye focused on nuclear capabilities. And I will say we have a range of options, up to and including Iran deciding that they will give those up, which of course we would welcome. They weren't willing to do in negotiations. I would never tell this group or the world what we're willing to do or how far we're willing to go, but we have options for sure. Right next to him.
Me?
No, right there.
Right here, sir? Right here?
I wouldn't tell that group a goddamn thing.
Right there, yep. No, you, yep.
Okay, thank you, sir. Can you please provide some guidance? It's been 13 days in. Can you please provide some guidance, both of you, about the strike on the girls' school? There's been reporting that indicates that preliminary inquiry, even though it's ongoing, has determined that the airstrike was carried out by the United States. Given that there is another competing narrative that this was done intentionally, can you provide us with some guidance about whether this was the case? Secondly, we are also getting we had heard yesterday from Energy Secretary Wright that said that the U.S. Navy would not be ready until the end of the month to provide escorts through the Strait of Hormuz. Is that an accurate assessment? And if so, can you tell us why? Thank you.
Well, with an issue on your first topic, an issue of such seriousness, we're not going to let reporting lead us or force our hand into indicating what happened in a particular situation, because the truth matters. So I can report that CENTCOM has designated an investigating officer to complete a command investigation. The command investigation will take as long as necessary to address all the matters surrounding this incident. And the investigating officer is from outside CENTCOM and is a general officer. But I will note to this group and to the world, there's only one entity in this conflict between us and Iran that never targets civilians. Literally never targets civilians. I look at the process that's used on dynamic strikes or on boat strikes and others. We have a very high fidelity process in that case. So we don't target, Iran does. We will investigate, and we'll get to the truth, and we'll share it when we have it. Absolutely. And what was the second?
About the Strait of Hormuz, about the Navy.
It's a tactically complex environment, and before I think we want to take anything through there at scale, we want to make sure that we do the work pursuant to our current military objectives to do that safely and smartly. So we're continuing to develop.
And we do a lot of work.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is it is dynamic, but this is, I think, almost by 20% the largest day of strikes. And as I said, our intelligence just gets better and better. That feedback loop feeds itself. And as we refine those targets, it exponentially increases what we can hit and why, to include strategic things the world's talking about and looking at. And it's our job to have a plan for it, which we do, to address it and ensure that the president has options. We've done that from the beginning in this department. He'll have options on that topic as well. Right here.
The United States carried out that strike, sir?
An investigation is an investigation. That's what it is. It doesn't mean anything other than that. Yes.
Ryan Morgan with the Epic Times. Regarding today's busy day of strikes, last week you guys discussed the progress of the air campaign to gain air superiority and to transition from these standoff weapons launched at range to more overhead strikes. Can you now say that these strikes today are going to rely entirely on stand-in over-the-top weapons, or are standoff range weapons still in play?
It's a great question. I can say, based on the report I read this morning at 0600, only 1% of the munitions we're using today are standoff munitions. The rest are over-the-top, the types of which we have a plethora. Which was our goal from the beginning. You use standoff, which are more exquisite. You transition to a much larger magazine depth, ensuring that you're preserving all the capabilities you have and your options across the force.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Has Iran placed any mines since the war started? Is Iran placing new mines?
We've heard them talk about it, just like you've reported recklessly and wildly about it. But we have no clear evidence. We have no clear evidence of that.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Secretary, given everything the U.S. have accomplished in the last 24 hours, as of today, how do you define success in this military option? And has that definition changed from day one? And also regarding Iran government telling countries hosting U.S. American bases that they could face attacks, what is the Pentagon doing about that?
First question is, what is the objective?
How do you define success as of today?
Yeah, I mean, we define success, again, 13 days in, by reaching the military objectives that we've laid out. Launchers, missile launchers, defense industrial base, their Navy, the ability to project power in the naval sense, leading toward denying them to get a nuclear weapon. And we've got internal metrics that look at that we represent to the president, who then can decide how long he'd like to continue in pursuit of those military objectives. So that hasn't changed. There's a lot of things a lot of people talk about, what they want us to do or what we should do or what we should stay focused on. And again, I've addressed this before, and I think it's worth saying again, mission creep or expansive missions or prolonged timelines or democracy building or nation building, you name it, has not been part of what President Trump wants us to be involved in. We're solving for something here, this particular mission set, but also recognizing this country's conditioned to previous leaders, whether it's George W. Bush or Barack Obama or Joe Biden, who had these expansive, nebulous mission sets that kept changing all the time, so the timeline kept moving, and we kept pouring more troops in and on the ground, and then pretty soon everyone wonders, like I did in Afghanistan in 2012, what's our mission here? I'm not clear what it is. We're taking the opposite approach here and saying we've defined these objectives, we're pursuing those objectives. The president has his hand on the throttle and will decide ultimately when they've been reached that serve the purposes of the United States of America, American interests first.
And regarding the threats to countries,
yeah, right here.
Thank you, Secretary Hegseth. Polls show over 80% of Republicans support the president's military action in Iran, but there's some consternation in parts of the party, particularly from your fellow Fox News alum, Tucker Carlson. He called the war disgusting and evil, and then said of unconditional surrender, which the president has called for, means foreign troops get to rape your wives and daughters. Have you heard these comments, and what's your reaction to them?
We're busy executing on behalf of great patriotic Americans with a clear mission that's 47 years overdue, and we're going to execute on that regardless of what people say about it. Yeah, right here.
You have said that the U.S. military has essentially aerial superiority, naval superiority over Iran, yet we're not escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Why? How did you not plan for this?
We planned for it.
Why aren't
we recognize it. Because ultimately we want to do it sequentially in a way that makes the most sense for what we want to achieve and ensure that we're sending the right signals to the world when we do so. So when Chris Wright speaks or we speak, it's based on a full assessment of what we're up against, what we want to say to the world, how that we want them to see and understand the conflict. It's like this whole idea of the war widening. That's what the press wants to make it look like it's widening and chaos is ensuing. No, we're actually closing in on grabbing hold of and controlling what objectives we want to achieve and how we want to achieve them. It's called shaping operations and setting the conditions. But when you shape the environment, you don't always tell. I mean, foolish political leaders and foolish military leaders of the past will hang an exact deadline on it, or here's exactly when we'll do what we're going to do, or here's how long it's going to take us. And then if you meet that, maybe you meet it, but if you don't, you fail. And if you're far beyond, we know exactly what we're shaping and why. We're sending those signals working across the interagency. The Strait of Hormuz is something we've paid attention to from the beginning. And the American people can rest assured we will ensure that our interests are advanced, no doubt. Yeah, right there, green jacket.
Mike Brass with the Washington Examiner. How many American casualties have there been, and where were the American service members when they were injured?
I mean, it's a bunch of return to duty. So we've had the large majority have gone in for some medical treatment and return to duty. We've had in Kuwait, Jordan, down across the southern flank a little bit.
Has a modern, capable military, which Iran used to have, been so quickly destroyed and made combat ineffective.
NATO, I hardly know her.
We said it would not be a fair fight, and it has not been. As I stated during our first press conference on day 2, that was 10 short days ago.
I'm full of chicken.
The combination of the world's 2 most powerful air forces is unprecedented and unbeatable. Between our Air Force and that of the Israelis, over 15,000 enemy targets have been struck.
Hey, that's
well
subscribe.
Over 1,000 a day. No other combination of countries in the world can do that. So today, as we speak, we fly over the top of Iran and Tehran. Fighters and bombers all day picking targets as they choose. As our intelligence gets better and better and more refined. Looking up, the IRGC and Iranian regime sees only 2 things on the side of aircraft.
If you guys have Amazon Prime and you want to give me some free dollary dues,
and the Star
sign up for my Twitch.
The evil regime's worst nightmare. Iran has no air defenses. Iran has no air force. Iran has no navy. Their missiles, their missile launchers and drones being destroyed or shot out of the sky. Their missile volume is down 90%. Their one-way attack drones yesterday, down 95%. And as the world is seeing, they are exercising sheer desperation in the Straits of Hormuz. Something we're dealing with, we have been dealing with it, and don't need to worry about it. We're on plan to defeat, destroy, disable all of their meaningful military capabilities at a pace the world has never seen before.
So I'm going to pause this for a second. I think this just starts repeating after a while, but I'm not sure if he went on for over an hour. So as I was listening to that, one of the things they brought up was that blimp in the audience came out and said, oh, well, you know, I forgot even what she said because it was stupid. But you had the guy, Tucker Carlson, said, oh, well, Tucker said that you guys are going to rape and pillage and yada, yada, yada. Like, why would you come into the Oval Office and say that? Right? Like, what possesses you to be that stupid? As a reporter, right? Like, you could ask all these other questions. Hey, you know, people are talking about our weapons. How are we looking? You know, whatever, right? All this other stuff you could possibly ask. But you ask, well, are the Americans going to go rape and pillage? No, you stupid ass. What do you think? Like, why would you even assume that? Maybe to get a reaction or to have a soundbite, but he handled it very well. Crush the rest. 1980s. The world is laughing at American politicians as we protect ships we don't own. Current oil we don't need. Destined for allies who won't help. Yeah. Why aren't you out there? Why aren't you out there protecting all these people? Well, because we are not America's, or not the world's police, nor are we here to take care of everybody. So here's a better question. Why aren't those countries sending ships to protect their assets? Right? Why isn't anyone asking that question? Hey, why are other countries not sending assets to protect what they own? Well, that's a goddamn good question. I don't know. You tell me. And what was the other dumb question someone asked? Search for Trump quotes on Iran 1980s. Oh, didn't like him even since then. Just be happy we're not like, you know, the Vikings. They believed it was their right.
But it's not just that Iran doesn't have a functioning air force, or that their entire navy is at the bottom of the Persian Gulf, or their missile force is shrinking daily. Even more importantly, they also don't have the ability to build more. That's the most important component I'd like to emphasize today. Soon, and very soon, all of Iran's defense companies will be destroyed. For example, as of 2 days ago, Iran's entire ballistic missile production capacity, every company that builds every component of those missiles, has been functionally defeated, destroyed. Buildings, complexes, and factory lines all across Iran destroyed. So we're shooting down and destroying what missiles they still have in stock, but more importantly, ensuring that they have no ability to make more. Their production lines, their military plants, their defense innovation centers, defeated. Iran's leadership is in no better shape. Desperate and hiding, they've gone underground, cowering.
Literally.
That's what rats do. We know the new so-called not-so-supreme leader is wounded and likely disfigured. He put out a statement yesterday, a weak one, actually, but there was no voice and there was no video. It was a written statement. He called for unity. Apparently killing tens of thousands of protesters is his kind of unity. Iran has plenty of cameras and plenty of voice recorders. Why a written statement? I think you know why. His father, dead. He's scared, he's injured, he's on the run, and he lacks legitimacy. It's a mess for them. Who's in charge? Iran may not even know. With every passing hour, we know, and we know they know, that the military capabilities of their evil regime are crumbling. They can barely communicate, let alone coordinate. They're confused, and we know it. Our response? We will keep pressing. We will keep pushing, keep advancing. No quarter, no mercy for our enemies. Yet some in this crew, in the press, just can't
retarded.
Stop. Allow me to make a few suggestions. People look up at the TV and they see banners, they see headlines. I used to be in that business. And
Can you guys believe the Ayatollah was gay? Oh my God, if the news would have gotten out.
know that everything is written intentionally. For example, a banner or a headline.
So Iran starting the retaliation, apparently using the Shahed 136 drone, the one-way attack drones, heading towards parts of the Middle East right now. U.S. launches new wave of strikes against Tehran, says diplomacy has proven futile. They're no longer going to be doing anything diplomatic anymore. People are claiming that they struck a U.S. base in Kuwait, though nothing of that has actually been said. Because if they end up killing any Americans, it's going to be pretty bad. They keep saying the HIMARS is what we're using, but it wasn't the HIMARS, so I don't think they struck a base holding them. They're trying to claim. Okay, so those are the updates currently. The IRGC statement, 3 fuel depots, Patriot systems, and FPS radar in Kuwait completely destroyed. So that's all bullshit. So that's not really a thing that's happened. They claimed that last time too, and it wasn't true.
Splashing on the screen the last couple of days, alongside visuals of civilian or energy targets that Iran has hit, because that's what they do. What should the banner read instead? How about Iran increasingly desperate? Because they are. They know it, and so do you. Admit it. Or more fake news from CNN. Reports that the Trump administration underestimated the Iran war's impact on the Strait of Hormuz. Patently ridiculous, of course. For decades, Iran has threatened shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. This is always what they do, hold the strait hostage. CNN doesn't think we thought of that. It's a fundamentally unserious report. The sooner David Ellison takes over that network, the better. Another example of a fake headline that I saw yesterday. War widening. Here's a real headline for you for an actual patriotic press. How about Iran shrinking, going underground? You see, Iran's leaders are hiding in bunkers and moving into civilian areas. The only thing that is widening is our advantage. Not to mention our Gulf partners stepping up even more, now going on the offense, and have always been with us on the defense with collective and integrated air defenses. Our will, it is unshakable. Our options, maximized, and our capabilities still building. We're going up, they're going down. As I said from the start, President Trump holds the cards. He'll determine the pace, the tempo, and the timing of this conflict. His hand firmly on the wheel, as well as on the throttle setting. America first, peace through strength in action. From day one, as our nation expects and the president demands, our warriors have fought with lethality, precision, and rapid innovation. In fact, today will be, yet again, the highest volume of strikes that America has put over the skies of Iran and Tehran. The number of sorties and number of bomber pulses, the highest yet, ramping up and only up. And quantity has a quality of its own.
Someone needs to get that man a drink of water. That's why you can hear his jaws. He's dehydrated. Needs some water while he's up there speaking.
As we continue to ramp up. Every tool of AI, of cyber, of space, EW, counter UAS, you name it, we're employing it. Blinding, confusing, and deceiving our enemy. Because we know who the good guys are here. And the American people do too. And that makes my job simple. I serve God, the troops, the country, the Constitution, and the President of the United States, and answer only to those. All in service of victory on the battlefield, and the military objectives that we've laid out from day one. Defeat the missiles, missile launchers, and defense industrial base, which I laid out today. Defeat the Navy and deny Iran the ability to have a nuclear weapon. Clear, decisive, achievable. And Admiral Cooper knows, the CENTCOM commander who we spent a couple of hours with last night, that in pursuit of those objectives, we have his back in every way. His commanders know that, and so do the troops in harm's way. Admiral Cooper gets what he needs, the assets, the authorities, the munitions, you name it. We will stop at nothing to win. War is hell. War is chaos. And as we saw yesterday with the tragic crash of our KC-135 tanker, bad things can happen. American heroes, all of them. And as I have with all of them, as we have, we will greet those heroes at Dover, and their sacrifice will only recommit us to the resolve of this mission.
Well, they started hitting the
in this context and in pursuit of
the water
peace
pumps today.
Is necessary.
So
which
yes,
is why
we all
each
have the
day
same
on
idea,
bended knee, we
Metal.
continue to appeal to heaven, to Almighty God's providence, to watch over and give special skill and confidence to our leaders and to our warriors. To those warriors who this nation prays for every single day, I hear from all of you out there who pray for them every day. Stay on bended knee and pray for them. I continue to say to them,
Listen, my
Godspeed.
knees are terrible,
May
buddy.
the Lord bless you and keep you, and keep going.
I get on a
Mr.
bended
Chairman,
knee.
over to you.
I don't even know if I'm coming back
Good
up.
morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us today. Before I start with an update, I also want to address the tragic loss of our KC-135 refueling aircraft yesterday. The incident occurred over friendly territory in western Iraq while the crew was on a combat mission, and again was not the result, as CENTCOM has said, was not the result of hostile or friendly fire. We're still treating this as an active rescue and recovery operation. As CENTCOM announced this morning, 4 airmen have been recovered, and the Air Force and U.S. Central Command will provide updates as information becomes available. Please keep these brave airmen, their families, friends, and units in your thoughts in the coming hours and days. Our service members make an incredible sacrifice to go forward and do the things that the nation asks of them. It's a reminder of the true cost of the dedication and commitment of the Joint Force. We're also aware of a fire on board the USS Gerald R. Ford. We're thinking about the crew there who are injured in the fire. We believe and hope that everyone will be okay, and we're grateful for that. And for any further questions on that, we'd refer you to NAVCENT or to the Navy. This morning, we enter the 13th day of Operation Epic Fury, and we continue to make progress towards our military objectives.
To be honest, 13 days we did all this is still very impressive. I know people are going to go out there and poo-poo it or whatever, but to be honest, that's not been that much time.
As the Secretary said, today will be our heaviest day of kinetic fires across the operating area. CENTCOM continues to attack ballistic missile and drone capabilities so that they are no longer a threat to U.S. forces, our bases, or our partners. They're continuing to destroy the Iranian Navy to ensure freedom of navigation, and this means going after Iran's mine-laying capability and destroying their ability to attack commercial vessels. And we're targeting their defense industrial base so they cannot rebuild the capabilities that can harm America's interests or our partners in the future. As Admiral Cooper said in his update on Wednesday, Iranian combat power continues to decline as a result of the continued strikes, as the Secretary talked about. We've attacked over 6,000 targets, and our strike packages continue to launch every hour, and we've maintained an unprecedented number of sorties up overhead of Iran. CENTCOM is now persistently over the enemy, and a result, we've seen a reduction in missile and one-way attack fires, as the Secretary said. In less than 2 weeks, we've rendered the Iranian Navy combat ineffective and continue to attack naval vessels, including all of their Soleimani-class warships, which...
Oh, wait, this is an old one. Never mind. It jumped. So, I was like, listening to the report. I was like, wait a minute. That's not right. Hold on. Some here's off. That was 6,000 3 months ago. Yeah, we're up to like 18,000 probably targets destroyed. I think that was from 3 months ago. So I just checked. I was like, it says new, but that doesn't, I don't think that's right. That sounds a little old. Because I was like, we didn't lose any airplane recently. Wait a minute. I hope not. I don't. Wait a minute. That's the thing with those restream channels, is some of them are all funky. If it is old, nobody called me out on it, which I'm surprised. I was like, oh yeah, here's something. This looks new. I'm just going to eat my chicken wings while I wait. That's a lot of augments. All right, let's find something current. Latest wave of strikes on Iran complete. U.S. Central Command says its latest wave of Iranian strikes has concluded, targeting dozens of military air defense systems, coastal radar sites, missile and drone capability, and small boats. That was reported 34 minutes ago. Have you ever eaten goat? I've eaten lamb. I don't know if I've ever eaten goat, though. Maybe. Hakeem Jeffries apparently opened his mouth and a bunch of semen fell out, and then he started talking. He fumes that President Trump went to the golf event today and his granddaughter, Kaya. 4 days away from government shutdown, Donald Trump is at a golf event. Right now, as we speak, it's outrageous, and why are they running? Goat's okay. Lamb chops. Roast along? I don't know. He's not mentioned about Trump already rejected Hakeem and Chuck's offer to avert a shutdown because they asked for $1 trillion taxpayer health care for illegal and taxpayer-funded trans surgeries for kids, allegedly. That was reported 3 hours ago. That's called the sun. That's currently on him. People are saying we have now destroyed Iran's military bases. Saying Iran has 2 hours left, 500 missiles have been locked and loaded. The day will be historic. Apparently, people calling for the absolute destruction of everything in Iran. Getting folks, let's try to hit the halfway mark tonight. I'd appreciate y'all if we could do that. Throwing cameras off tower blocks? I don't know. That's all that's left of civilian housing? Probably. I understand not wanting to strike civilians. The problem is that if they start doing what they're doing in the other countries where they're hiding amongst the civilians, right? You got to weed them out like ticks. You know what they say, 4 doors, more wars. Yeah, I think it's impossible. That actually is physically impossible for a person to do safely. It's severe animal cruelty. Yeah, I would say that is correct. Yeah, I think a lot of people are hoping that we're going to bomb them during the funeral. So apparently a tourist was seriously injured after a bison tossed them about 8 feet up in the air in Yellowstone National Park. The attack was captured on video by photographer Mike McLeod. Apparently, yeah, the animals are tired of people's shit. Good for that bison. I actually heard somebody got copyright struck because of that. Apparently, people have made an ultrasonic knife that vibrates at 40,000 times per second to make slicing effortless. This is what they talk about in a lot of sci-fi vibro knives. Apparently now vibro knives are a thing. In the disgusting move, apparently, Sorrow's back state attorney, Monique Worrell, says that while a man masturbating in front of the kids at the park is wrong, but it's not illegal. All things that are wrong are not illegal. I don't know what that woman's thinking. Masturbating in front of a child is illegal. That's indecent exposure and sexualization of a minor, nutcase. It's all kinds of illegal. Yeah, that it is. In fact, it's very illegal. Mazel tov!
What? Uma, dua, uno. Didi.
Huzzah!
Uma, dua, uno. Didi.
I love hearing the sound wave. Yeah, that's Portland now. We're bombing it. We're destroying Portland. Japan Prime Minister has come out so that she is honored that Trump is protecting civilian citizens. So Iran attacked 6 Middle Eastern countries tonight. United Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, and Oman. Nobody's saying dick all, especially since they were aiming for civilians. Apparently, the leftists in Portland last night tried to break open the gate at the ICE facility, and again, nothing happened. They moved some dumpsters in the way and stuff, and yelled and screamed, and nothing worthwhile of mentioning. This is World War 14 now. Let's just keep piling them on. No, they're not liking the pepper balls to the face. People are saying great success tonight in the attack. It's head of the Special Operations Unit in Iran has been killed. So I think we killed like 3 very important people tonight, is what it looks like. Blew up some missile facilities. Good times, good times, good times. You know what's going to be real shit is if we do get in World War III, all the Antifa people out there are going to be rounded up and you know, put in the military during the draft. Can you imagine? My name is Zim Sir. Your name is Maggot, and you're going to get in line. Go on. We had to result to horse whipping them to get them to do what we want. It's hard to be political when you're cannon fodder. Yeah. I don't like this. Welcome to socialism. Imagine a leftist super soldier crying like a bitch over pepper balls. Yeah, but that's kind of what happens, right? Like, we've seen that. Anyways, folks, I'm going to call it a night. I am out of here. I am done for the night. We got all the Iran news out, which is great. And it's Sunday. I'll probably be on tomorrow. Again, I need to get out of the negative, so you guys can donate tonight. Would be awesome. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, buy me a coffee. Don't do super chats. I won't get them till next month. But if you guys do the other stuff, that would be badass and help me a hell of a lot tonight. Yeah, I'm probably going to go and put out some more resumes, which I've been doing for the last couple days. Somebody needs me as a job. I just haven't found the right person. And then I can work from home and still do the show, which will then make everybody happy, right? But until then, or until disability gets back to me about me only able to lift 10 pounds, which is just my cock, we will see what happens. So the rest of you have a good, fantastic night tonight. Again, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, buy me a coffee. If you want to know how to donate, it is pinned or go ! Whichever one of those you'd like to donate. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, or buy me a coffee, just ! Put it in there. Click on it. There you go. So rest of you have a good night. Yuffie is, I think, online if you guys want to drop by there and say hello to her. Thank you, Ahab, for the wonderful $25, brother.
Has just tipped $25. One more under the wire.
Thank you very much. Very much appreciate you. Brings us up to 40. We almost hit my halfway mark I was hoping to get today. Have I tried fluffing work? I don't really like handling other people's penis. So, no. The only penis I like touching is my own. Anyways, I'm out of here. You have a good night, everyone. Take care. If anything crazy happens, I'll jump back on. Maybe one day we'll get back to the riots we used to have, but till then, I'm just going to start doing war news for a while. So have a good night, everyone. Have a good sleep. Tomorrow is, of course, Monday. So you have work tomorrow. Get a good night's rest. Closer, Ahab. But then my hand would smell like fish. Good night, everybody. Have a very wonderful day at work tomorrow.